Hello there, how are you? I'm Helen Saller, your Destiny Helper. Looking forward to us being together for a little time on this early morning. Thank you so much, those of you who have subscribed to my YouTube channel. I am so grateful, and I pray that these are your best holiday, and for you, New Year will come into a bang of change, that you would change some things about the way you think, change what you desire, change what you will allow. I pray that you will reach a point of debarkation when it comes to your life, your mind, and that you will implement a non-negotiable, non-returnable change. Thank you so much for writing me, emailing me, telling me about your different concerns of the things that you're going through. And many of you are caught in mind places, emotional places where you feel that there is no way out. So we have been talking about some things that you requested. How does the narcissist affect your body and the different hormonal levels of the body? We talked about dopamine. We talked about oxytocin. So now we are going to talk about serotonin. They call serotonin the feel good hormone. It is a chemical hormone. It's still a lot of things we don't know medically about serotonin. Serotonin is a complicated chemical. We narrow it down to the chemical of emotion, but 98% of serotonin, 90 to 98% of serotonin stimulates in the gut. It is made in the gut. So when you clean out your gut, your intestines, a lot of times you deal with serotonin. So serotonin shut down your digestion. And that's why a lot of you are having problems with eating. You're having stomach problems. When you eat food, you can't hold it, or you find yourself running to the bathroom. Many of you are taking Tagament because you got this acid that keep building up in your stomach, and some of you are bloated because of stress. So what is cortisol build up in your system because you are under so much duress, because you are not sure of things. You never know what's going to happen from moment to moment. The narcissist says that they love you, and then the next day he's a hellion, and then he tells you he's going to change, and then he tell you that he didn't say that. He comes home, he tell you he'll be there, and then he's not there. He gets in the bed, you expect for him to hold you. He just turned things off because low serotonin start to affect the sexuality in the marriage, in the relationship. So you have low sexual drive, and those who have high serotonin have a high sexual drive. As a matter of fact, the higher the serotonin, the more dominant the person is. And they found out that alpha males was filled with serotonin. And then when they did a test and took one of the lowest rankings of the monkey kingdom, and they gave him serotonin. It took 2 weeks. They built him with serotonin. That monkey became the alpha male, and he didn't become the alpha male of how he acts. They put him in a cage after 2 weeks, and the female monkeys automatically, they knew before the male monkeys that there was something different about him, that his serotonin was high. They kicked in, and once they kicked in, then the males came and kicked in. When you are high in serotonin, it brings in a dominance factor to you, because serotonin helps you to sleep. Serotonin, it boosts your energy, or it takes away your energy. That's why people with low serotonin deal with severe depression. And so, and their sexuality is low. They go into depression. They don't want to be bothered. They seclude themselves. They are fearful. They are insecure, because all of this works through the brain, through the mind, through the thought, through the imagination, through the will. So working through that with the serotonin. But there are fools. You say, I can't fight what he brings. No, you can't make him do anything. You can't stop him from doing anything, but you can narrate on how you eat in your life, because there's serotonin that are in different food that will raise that serotonin. Some of it immediate, a lot of carbs, the wrong carbs is going to de-energize you. But salmon is one of the biggest elements that releases serotonin. Pineapple, Pineapple is great to build the mind, to stimulate the mind. And do you know that magnesium helps you when you're going through your oppress? It de-stress you. It lowers that cortisol. Magnesium is really, really good. Magnesium and some good music will raise your serotonin, but it will lower the cortisol, the stress level. And many of you, stop arguing. Just go get you a fireplace, go get you some music, and take you some magnesium. Eat the right food, nuts. Spinach is another one, loaded with serotonin. Raise it. They got a salad that they call the serotonin builder. And what they does is they take the salad with spinach, kale, and what else did they put in? Nuts. And they put in probably some cheese, because cheese is excellent with serotonin. And they put in oil. Oil help you to digest it, because it lubricates the intestines as you eat that. It helps you to digest it. And you will notice that some of the depression leaves, some of the anxiety leaves immediately. This works just as quick as medicine, but it's all natural. Many of you are stressed out. The narcissists bring in stress because they're how can I say, they're not foundational in their thinking. They change their mind quickly. Their attention span is like a 2-year-old. I mean, they can't stay with a thought. They get bored easily. They're looking for torture, because torture lower the cortisol in the narcissist and raise up their serotonin. Because once the cortisol lowered, the serotonin can rise. And so you're wondering why the narcissists, they feel that low serotonin. And that's why they don't, and you wonder, but they don't even sleep, because they need a raised serotonin. When you have a raised serotonin, it makes you to sleep, but they don't need it. They don't require it. Low serotonin keep you from sleeping, but it doesn't bother the narcissist because of the dopamine, the oxytocin that is in them. These feel-good hormones are working, and so they sleep a couple of hours and they up and they're rolling. You sleep a couple of hours, you're fumbling, falling down the steps, walking into a wall. I mean, you're looking at stuff and don't know what you're seeing, and it's right in your face, because your serotonin has been lowered. And your lower serotonin doesn't work for you, but you're not made of the stuff that the narcissist is made of. You are a loving individual. You love to love. That's why you tremendously love the narcissist. And then the empath. Oh my God, empaths. Be careful. You feel everything. You live by feeling. I think I feel, I think I feel. That's your zone. You think you feel, and that's what he wants. Because when you feel, you take on the responsibility of the narcissist, because an empath always in somebody's lives, always in somebody's business, always taking on stuff that don't belong to them. Empaths' lifespan that don't learn wisdom is very low. They usually last about 50 years, if that. Because they done took on so much, they are loaded with cortisol, and so their serotonin is usually low. Because when you got people's problem, guess what you have a problem with? You have a problem with sleeping, serotonin. So you don't sleep well because your serotonin is low. And then a lot of times your serotonin is low and you get depression. You don't eat well. You just eat whatever. And a lot of times you eat to live instead of living to eat, because it takes away your appetite. Low serotonin takes away your appetite. You don't feel like eating. You don't feel like talking. You don't feel like encouraging music. You don't want the encourager. So a lot of times people are going through with the narcissist. You say, I'm telling them, I'm talking to them, their serotonin is low, honey. And so when you talk to them, you agitate them. Why? Because people who are low with serotonin are easily agitated. And that narcissist knows this. If that narcissist have been with you for a while, he pretty know the way you are. He know your pattern. And on your pattern, when you get happy and he notice you happy, he come in with a problem that's not even a problem. He make up stuff to argue about. And you can cook a meal, and I mean, he ate like Wendy the pig. He ate everything up. The only reason he didn't eat the plate because he took all the sauce off. So he didn't eat the plate. You bring that same food, he throw it off the table, tell you, what is this? I don't want this. They're just like little kids. They have temper tantrums. And then they talk to you like a little kid. I don't want this. I don't want to do this. Why you do this? You trying to kill me. See, I told you what I like, and you won't give me what I like. You like, you just told me yesterday you like this. That was yesterday. You needed to ask me what I wanted today, because I don't want this today. Then you said, well, what do you want? I don't want nothing, because you should have asked me before. Hey, He needs that serotonin to rise. He needs your cortisol to rise. Because his cortisol, at the rise of your cortisol, his serotonin rise, his cortisol go down, and he watch you and you suffer. And you're thinking in your mind, how can he watch me suffer? Nobody that loves anybody watch them suffer. Watch you suffer. He created the suffering. And so your cortisol rise, your serotonin is low. The one thing he can't stop you from doing, even if you have to do it when you leave, eat. You can eat pineapples, you can eat nuts, you can eat chicken, turkey. Do you know chicken is loaded with tryptophan, which relaxes the body? The same thing like chocolate, the same thing like turkey. It relaxes you. The thing that makes turkey work better is because the tryptophan in chicken can get past the bloodline, like the tryptophan in turkey. It goes right in. You feel total relaxation. So when you shop, get plenty of turkey. I mean, just eat yourself. And he call you fat. That's all you do is eat. And you be like, you can say what you want to do. I'm taking this relaxing moment. And when you give him, and they also call this stonewalling, when you don't pay him any mind. When you don't pay him any mind, his serotonin goes down. His cortisol goes up. And then he'll start anything. Even the Lord narcissist and some of the greater narcissists can be very wicked. They plot deaths. I mean, they don't do it. They get somebody else to do it. And they just as evil. They are just as vicious as the Lord narcissist. And some of you are with the greater narcissist. Some of you are with the cerebral narcissist. You're starving sexually because the cerebral narcissist, he don't have a high cortisone stimulate your sexuality. A lower cortisone takes away your sexuality. So that's why some of you have got so depressed you don't even desire sex. So whether he touch you or not, you could care less. You are now in survival mode. You are saying, I'm just trying to keep my mind. I'm just trying to stay sane day to day. That's the arena you got in, and your serotonin is lower. So that lets me know that you're eating some of the wrong food. You're probably eating a lot of sugary food, comfort eating. You started eating a lot of carbs, comfort eating. You're eating a lot of breads. I mean, people love the different kind of bread, loaded with butter, loaded with jam. And what it is doing, it is decreasing your serotonin. So you're going in deeper and deeper. Where it's comforting you to eat it, is taking away what you need to recuperate, to recover from narcissist torment, from gaslighting, discard, devaluation. To recover that, you need the right foods. Your body doesn't live on all of that. It diminishes your body. That's why many of you are sick. Cortisol raised the acid level in your intestine. Next thing you know, you're constipated. You're backed up. You can't go to the bathroom. When you eat, it goes right through you, or it sits like a log in your stomach. You always feel bloated. You always feel full. You're burping out gases. I mean, you got gas itself, and you know what that burps out, right? So all of these things are happening because you have low serotonin. You don't sleep. You got problem thinking. You got fog in your mind. Sometimes it's like you walking in slow motion. Things are happening in slow motion, and you tell yourself, I am losing my mind. When you lose something, that means you can't find it. That means it's not in your present. That means you have to look for it. You have to search for it. Why did you say you're losing your mind? You don't have to search for your mind. You have to raise your serotonin so you can think. Dopamine also help you to think. And when you, that dopamine, that feel good, do something to make you happy. Get music. Music is a great instrumentality in every arena. Get the music you like. When he leave, if you can't listen to him while he's there because you're relaxing too much and he thinks she's enjoying herself and he said, I'm going to cause conflict. Well, the moment he causes conflict, that's gone. But when he's not away, when he's away, you take and listen to that music. Then you get recitals that you are constantly pronunciating and sounding out and announcing to yourself. Announce yourself. I am. And when you say I am, that is a public announcement of who you are has arrived. I am strong. I am mighty. I am tired of this. Maybe you say I can't leave him. Just say that a lot. You will leave him. I'm tired of this. I will no longer put up with this. I'm more than this. I'm more valuable than this. I'm being devaluated. I am reevaluating myself. I am strong. And then he come back. You just put that music on, have your salad, have your kale, have your spinach, have your nuts. Come on here. Have your oil, a little sea salt, because salt causes anxiety. The regular iodinized salt will cause anxiety to your body, which causes anxiety to your mind, because it bloats you, swell you, you retain water, so it raises your blood pressure. You don't raise high blood pressure, you raise your blood pressure. But if you get the Himalayan salt, you can use different Himalayan salt. These sea salts will not raise your blood pressure and cause anxiety to the body. However, it doesn't have iodine in it, and you need iodine in the body so you won't have these gourds around your neck and other things that the iodine deficiency causes. But they have sea salt that have iodine in it, and you can purchase that and put that on the salad. Don't add any carbs to this salad. I said cheese before, but don't add cheese, because it works quicker when there's no blockage. The carbs begin to block it. Even though there is serotonin in cheese still a carbo. So use that salad with just lettuce, kale, and a little bit of Himalayan salt and oil, because the oil helps it to metabolize quicker. And this can help you. Just simple, natural things that you can do, because nobody really understands the stress level of living with a narcissist. And many of you live with a narcissist. You got all kind of stuff: backache, eye ache, eyebrow ache, ear ache, teeth ache. Come on here. Even your lips shake. You're just stressed out. And the narcissists are stress inhibitors. They cause it. They live for it. They need your pain in order to have their happiness. They're happy at your pain. Their cortisol go lower when they're stressing you out. That's why they're doing it, because they notice that when you stress, their serotonin goes up. They feel good. Their dopamine goes up. They feel good. And you always feel bad. So listen to me. I know that this was a short scope, but I wanted to come and talk to you. Your serotonin is very, very important. And those of you, go online, see what kind of foods that would increase your serotonin. See what kind of natural things without side effects. Because why would you take things and they have side effects? And all serotonin is not pure serotonin. Some of it are marketed and synthetic and stuff been added to it, and it's acceptable according to the USDA, and they would just pass it. But it's not good for your body. You need pure serotonin. You need to go to the natural stores to get that pure serotonin. Look online, see the benefit of it, see how it works, see how long they've been in business, see all that. You don't have to be stressed out. You do not have to be depressed, but you do have to make a decision, and you do have to make change. It is stressful, period, being with any narcissist at any school, any rank. And when I say school, this is the characteristic of that narcissist. And that rank is lower, mid, greater. When they got these different levels, that means that's the experience level. By the time you become a greater narcissist, because every narcissist is being educated, they're being grown, they're getting more experience. So the more experience they get, the more they know how to implement skillfully against you and for them. The narcissists never do anything that does not add to them. They never do anything just to do for you. There's no such thing. If a narcissist says, I just want to do this, not for me, but for you, there is a catch at the end. A narcissist is loaded with themselves. Loaded. Even with God, they will go after God to do them a favor because they got themselves in mind. And narcissists are all in churches. They're in pulpits. They're in robes. Come on here. It doesn't matter where they are. They are who they are in any place that they're located. Remember that, because some of you think he's in church, so he can't be. Yes, he can. Absolutely can. Preach a sermon too. Cause you to shout and dance, cause you to raise your hand, cause you to want to come back. See, when you got a narcissist for a leader, they're stimulating that hormone. Dopamine can make, it's a very addictive once you lock something in, because it bonds you to that. It will bond you to that. And the oxytocin. So you can go to church and you know, I ain't right about them. They like the people, but you don't know whether they love the people. And then you know when they love the people, there's some ulterior motive. Because they leak out, they mask out. They can't hide themselves. Why? Because grandiosity won't let them. They glow too much. And they start slipping. And you start seeing things. Then you have to make a choice. Now, if you sit there, because God will allow a point where he will move everything, allow you to get a clear vision of where you at, then it's your choice. It's your alternative. If you choose to be with them, then you can't blame anybody. That's totally on you. You can have a higher serotonin. You can sleep well. The narcissist go to sleep and he just stirred up hell, and he don't struggle in his sleep. He's sleeping like a baby. Well, you need to get into bed and go to sleep. He will notice that. She will notice that. And then you notice that when you're argumentative because you're trying to fight for what you think is yours. So usually you start getting more argumentative when you get more insecure. The more insecure you get, the more argumentative you get, because you're trying fiendishly to hold on to him because you know he's on the way out the door. You know they're not being faithful. You know they're cheating, and you're doing everything, and you don't want to know the truth, so you deny the truth. It doesn't make it stop. That means you're just in denial, so you put yourself in the dark, and they stay doing what they're doing. So you might as well see it and deal with it, because if I know you're doing this, let me think of how to deal with this. And if you allow it, then stop complaining. Stop complaining. Let them do what they do, and you take what you take. But you can build yourself up, and it may take time. Don't let people think that you can just leave. Sometimes you just can't leave. But you can work on you. You can do something for you. You can strengthen you, because nobody knows what it takes to go through a narcissistic relationship like those who went through it. Stop being hard on yourself. You are more powerful than you think, because who can go through a relationship like that for 20 years, 30 years, 40 years? You just so stressed out. You can't see how powerful you really are. Believe it or not, the narc sees, but he know you're in denial. So let's get your cortisone up. Not your cortisone, your serotonin up. Let's get your serotonin up. Let's get things that's going to build it. Let's get some magnesium in you. Keep that magnesium at a level. Let's get some vitamin D. Vitamin D helps. Muscles, bones, tissue. It's like what you can't get from the sun, you can get some assistance. Let's help you to live again, breathe again. And let's help you to know what love really is. Tina Turner. What's love got to do with it? All of us know to say everything. I'm Helen Sadler. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Like and share the page. Let's go and tell everybody. I need you to tell more people, redirect more people to this page. Let's help them that need help. The more people you help, your serotonin goes up higher. Let's raise the bar inside of you. I'm Helen Sadler, your destiny helper, and I love you so much. Thank you. God bless.